I listen. I can feel it. I experience it. And I breathe it. This is music to me. And who am I? My name is Nina, and I'm a music lover. And I'm about to take you on a journey into one of the craziest industries in the world. This is Connected by Frequency. Hello, music lovers. My name is Nina, and let me take you to another journey into the music industry. In the beginning, I just want to thank you all for the unconditional support. And big thanks to the Infinity Lighthouse for believing in me and helping me on this project. Now, this was planned to happen live in one of my favorite cities. But COVID doesn't want me to experiment and enjoy. So what we have here today is something completely different than you used to see in my shows. But this is the beauty of this project, getting closer to various people who are representing important parts of this industry. Right now, I want to talk about the unforgettable show experience. This creative studio will tell us the story behind it. Again, if you like this podcast and want me to continue doing it, please make this easier for me via Patreon or PayPal donations. All the information will be written in the video description and on the Connected by Frequency Facebook page. And please subscribe to the Connected by Frequency YouTube channel, like this video and share it everywhere. And feel free to leave a comment. I will much appreciate it. Thank you. They create motion graphics like trailers, artist visuals, and video clips. They shape stage and club design that will blow your mind. And they also VJ and live operate during the events. Being specialized in projection mapping was well recognized a lot of times. And virtual production is part of their portfolio as well. Their creativity is contagious and inspiring. They are show designers, and their name is Vission Impossible. And trust me, they can bring the impossible to life. Today, I'm talking to one Dutch mastermind. He and his team were in Prague a month ago, and what brought him to this splendid city was actually the same reason that was supposed to get me there once again: a transmission festival. The only difference is that he was there to work, and I was supposed to enjoy the music and the product of his teamwork. Unfortunately, the last-minute COVID restrictions forced me to cancel everything. Nevertheless, we are here to talk about him. His name is Martijn Adema, and he's a founder and creative director of Vission Impossible. Goedemiddag, Martijn, of goedenavond.
Goedemiddag. Oh, you speak
yeah, I know.
Dutch.
I know a couple of
Very
words.
nice,
Yeah.
very nice. But, thank you for the nice introduction, Nina.
Yeah, welcome to Connected by Frequency podcast, first of all. How are you feeling today?
Very good to be here. Yeah, good. Yes.
That is good to hear. Okay, in the beginning, I usually like to let my guests explain who they are, what they do, and why they started this specific business at the first place. So let the people get to know you, who Martijn is.
I'm a guy. I live in Amsterdam. When I was young, I had a passion for dance music and creativity. So we started a small company doing making visuals for events, and that grew into a professional company that now does creative designs for events in general. So we do, that's in a very short nutshell.
Thank you for that. All right. So you started this journey, let's call it that way, in 1997, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And for almost 25 years, you have been part of this phenomenal concept that keeps surprising us over and over again. How did you succeed in keeping the team together and this idea alive for so long?
Good question. I think we just love what we do. And I started this out with two of my good friends, Barry van Dijk and Ruben Langendijk. And we're just a pretty good team. Like to work with each other. And as the demand for our services grew a little bigger, we got to expand our company a little bit. So that was basically the start of our journey together, and we still work together ever since.
That's amazing to hear, actually. This is not that often, actually, to hear. So I'm pretty much amazed by it. Okay, so I bet there were some challenges you faced on this journey. So what were your first projects? How it looked like back then? Do you remember?
It looked more like a hobby. You can say that we did, started out doing visuals in clubs in Amsterdam, and in the late 90s there were quite a few of them, and making visuals for events was something new. And also actually the whole how you call it, dance culture wasn't around that long, and they figured, for most of the night looking at the DJ only was a little bit boring. So it would be nice if there's something to watch. And before that period, we already made a video like a few clips on music, and then a few people noticed what I did, and then they asked me to come play that live in clubs, and that is a little bit also in the beginning period where the first VJs were performing, and it was very nice because you could sort of combine your creativity with computers and also with nightlife, which was pretty nice actually, because it also made the thing a little bit more social, since you could directly interact with your audience. They could. It wasn't like television, where you have to send a tape to the television station, and then later on, maybe, you probably heard nothing of what people thought of it. When we did this live for events, people could come straight towards you, give you feedback, and also there was a way to meet new people and also get new assignments. So that was actually a pretty natural way of expanding our business. And that went from the clubs in Amsterdam, and there were quite a few of them, to at a certain moment the festivals that grew a little bigger, and especially with the introduction of LED, it became pretty important actually. And after that, we also got noticed by pop concerts for brands, and did quite a few other projects, but making visuals for events, and especially for dance events, that sort of is still our core business.
Mm-hmm. That's a phenomenal concept for sure, and you did it for a reason, definitely, because people enjoy that stuff. So let me recall your memory.
Yeah, so do we.
And show something that you did from a long time ago. This is the feature that I do sometimes. I call it Blast from the Past or Down the Memory Lane. So this is the video.
And on that note, let's get back to the program.
This is the video that I found on your YouTube channel.
Oh, really? Yep.
Yes, and this is actually from 2001, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And this is Kremlin Industrial Party.
Yep.
So this is exactly 20 years ago when you made this video.
All right.
Do you mind explaining what this actually represents?
Even though it's the most, this is the most representative video, but it was very nice because after we worked for several clubs, there was one club that came to us and it went a little further. So it was maybe beginning of the first super clubs that sort of had a concept, and this one really had a pretty distinctive concept. It was called Kremlin. And it might be a little bit weird for people maybe watching from Eastern Europe, but it was sort of a theme which had like a Soviet communist theme, it was pretty all around the whole theme. So it started with a dress code. It was like a weekly night, but everybody was supposed to come in red, black, white, or silver. We had like a sort of iconography with the three that you just saw them with the three, how you call it, the communist symbol. We did all kind of crazy stuff. So, and we were part of the creative team, designing all these kind of things. And it was a lot of fun because, the possibilities were endless. So this was like the industrial month. So we also designed the flyers, we designed an internet trailer, and all that kind of stuff was pretty new. And the next month we had like a sort of space theme, and we had like a fire and a devil, and we had an inflatable head of Lenin. And I even remember we took the concept on tour. We also been to the United States, and it was really funny because the customs we had to take a whole bag of props and our visuals to make a Kremlin party in the United States. And when they opened up the bag with all the props, it was full of fake dollars with Lenin on it, and a blow up devil and a blow up head of Lenin. So that was fun explaining that to the customs of the United States. But the good memories of the whole thing was that it actually, because it looked pretty tough and pretty dark, but it made the whole, literally the whole comradeship of all the people that went to the Kremlin events, made it really strong. I never seen a party where people were so involved in, and they really loved it. So there was fun to do for a whole while. And it was also the place where the owner of Transmission also went together with his Czech girlfriend, and that actually where the link between us and Transmission started.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Interesting. But do you find it funny when you look at those videos back then, 20 years ago, oh my God, and compare it to what you're doing right now, guys?
Yeah, it is funny, and it's of course it's like really primitive, but the one of the big differences, of course, is that in that time, there weren't that many people doing this kind of jobs, and also no assets that you can use. So we had to build everything that you saw in the images from scratch. So
wow.
that's also why it took pretty long to make that kind of stuff. But it was a lot of fun doing it.
It looks like it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess it's not easy to find high-rated professionals sharing the same passion. And as you said, I suppose that you have been friends for so many years. First of all, how important is to understand each other all the time?
I guess pretty important.
A lot.
Yes. Of course, we do this work together for a long time already. But it's very nice when somebody can really understand your ideas and carry them further. So that's good.
But do you fight sometimes?
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes we pretty much disagree or are annoyed by each other. It's sort of like a 25-year-old marriage.
Good explanation.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm wondering, who is the most creative in your team, and who is the decision maker? I mean, you're CEO, first of all, so I guess you're making a lot of big decisions. It is up to you, but still, maybe I'm wrong. I
don't know. All of our guys are pretty creative, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But lately, we also been doing, turned our company more into a all-round creative agency for events. And I think in doing those activities, also like concept and stage design. I do quite a lot, but we all of us of the team pitch in, so it's more like a team effort.
That's a perfect recipe, I guess. So there are like 5 key persons in Vision Impossible, right?
Currently.
Okay.
Yes.
But I guess you work with plenty of young, talented people. Of course, you're not alone over there.
No, it's a team effort.
Yeah, of course. What I see is a mutual for you all is creativity, innovation, and that phrase, great minds think alike. This is what defines you, in my personal opinion, and what keeps you connected and true to each other and to the project itself. So I guess I'm not mistaken this time.
No, I think you're pretty good.
Yeah, good to know. All right. So Vision Impossible is an audiovisual production company specialized in making video shows for dance events, concerts, award shows, and business events in Holland and around the world. How do you decide what project to accept and when a potential client sends you a brief?
Good question. I don't know. I think if it's creatively appalling and if it would fit us, I think we would take it if we have some, if we can make the difference. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be the most important factor. If there is no use having us do something, in our opinion, then we're not going to take the job. And if we're not going to enjoy what we're doing, we're not going to do it either. But most of the jobs we're offered, they're in events, so we love events, so they're pretty nice. Mm-hmm. So it's hardly that we really turn things down, but in a lot of cases. Sometimes you already hear of a project and then you think, I don't see this happening for one reason or another. And in that case, mostly it doesn't. Mm-hmm.
So I guess this is the most important value for you when choosing client or brand.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. If you can make the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's go to the most exciting part of your business, the dance music event industry, of course. So what I'm going to do right now is the following. I will enter your website and go briefly through your portfolio.
All right.
It's hard to explain what you guys actually do if no one sees it, So this is how I'm gonna try.
Seeing it is better than explaining.
Exactly, you're a visual, project, so definitely I need to do this way. All right, so let's go. Okay, we played it. Mm-hmm. Actually, we activated the website, so this is your home page, and we can see over here a lot of projects that you guys do mixed all together.
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to choose dance events right now. So let's go to your portfolio and let's choose dance events. Guy from the studio is going to help me with this. All right, so you are focusing on different venues and various genres, right? But I think this one is the most special one for you. Tell me if you agree. Of course, I'm talking about transmission.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Vanya, you can play it a little bit. So this one is actually, is it from?
It's the show from 2000. That was 2019.
19,
Yep.
yeah, another
2019.
dimension.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it is perfect. So, can you explain why this event is kind of unique for you and how did it start?
Transmission in general, or this edition?
Transmission in general.
All right. Yeah, it started in 2005, I think, when the Dutch guy that's the owner of Transmission moved to Prague, and he knew our work that we did from Kremlin, which also was a trance club. And so when he started doing this, he asked if we could do the visuals and anything more that we could come up with. Actually, a little bit the same freedom that we had at the Kremlin club. And so we gladly accepted. And for the first few years, it was already pretty free. So we even did a little bit of DJing on Transmission. We did, and the beginning of sort of audio visual shows, and then we got more into assigning a special theme for every transmission. And that became more serious and serious. So then every year it became a challenge of how to come up with another concept that will be a good addition to the ones that we had previously. What we found out worked pretty well is that we have one general theme, and within that maybe define a few sub themes, or have one sort of continuous story with a few chapters. And that is actually what we saw here. I think before, usually we sort of switched a little bit between maybe something we try to do something different every year. So before that, it was like we had in 2018, I think, the Awakening show, which was like a little bit spiritual. And then, it was the wish of I think even of the owner that said, everybody really wants to do a space show again, because we already did one, but that was back in 2008, 9 maybe. So let's do that again. And then we made a list of what would be cool. So there was a lift off that would be pretty nice, going through a wormhole, like make a special show out of that one, have alien contact, and that's where most of the ideas of the separate show sort of came from, and it's pretty nice. It's always I think the space a theme that fits Transmission and the space and the trance music pretty well. So that was fun to do, and also for this concept, because there already was an idea of sort of stage design, and when we first looked at it, we were I don't know about this. Because they're just 5 standing screens, and they're a little bit curved. So what could you do with it? And then we got a sort of an idea about that you could play with a sort of false perspective, like there was a imaginary space behind the screen when you look at it for a certain angle. And we tried to experiment with that a little bit, and that actually fitted the whole theme of the space journey quite nice, because there was also a show where we have a sort of interdimensional test. That kind of stuff is nonsense, but it's really fun to do.
Wow. I mean, you definitely upgrade your experience every single year, and we all love it. And this is really this is really amazing what you guys are doing. And I know that a lot of people are actually coming to Transmission Festival, not only to Transmission Festival, but your events to experience these kind of things. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that you're doing it, and I'm pretty happy that I'm part of it some way.
Well, thanks. But I must say that it's also very much a team effort. And I don't get to decide these things for myself. We're doing it with a big theme, with a big team. And they're amazing lights. Designers, laser operators, those guys do awesome work. The stage designers, the pyrotechnicians, the dancers, the outfits. The list it's pretty long, but it's a big team effort to bring this experience to the people.
Yeah, of course, you cannot do this all alone, No. Of course, it's the complete experience, not only what you guys are doing, but your part is definitely something to be worth mentioning. All right, so let's get back to dance events. So actually you did 3D animation, motion graphics, show design, of course, VJing, and live operating for so many outstanding and significant events, both outdoor and indoor. I will mention a few. We can see over here a couple of those.
Sure.
So, of course, we have Transmission, we have Dream State, we have Q-Dance, Climax, Electric Daisy Carnival in Las Vegas, DEFCON 1, Dominator, and I mean, there's a lot of those events that you guys doing, and those events are really big. So this is really impressive.
Oh, thanks. But we've been lucky to have been doing all this kind of stuff.
No, I wouldn't call that lucky. You have this experience that people recognize, I guess. So this is why they call you to do something like this. Okay, so let's just play, for example, EDC. And we're just going to continue talking, right?
All right.
So which one, my question is actually, which one was the most complicated to produce? And which one was the one you enjoyed so much? I guess you enjoyed all of those events, doing all of those events, but some were pretty stressful more than others.
Yeah, you mean all of the projects that are in the portfolio or EDC?
I'm talking about dance events right now.
All right. Yeah. Most of them are. There's always a little tension, I think. Transmission is always a big chunk of work because people expect a lot, and it's a lot of work creating those shows. But actually, most of these things also, for Climax, used to be a lot of work. For EDC, also the shows we did there in 2014 and 15, those were massive. And also on the this stage here was this was already like 2014, so it's quite a while ago.
I think it's later.
I'm pretty sure it was 2014.
Okay, I'm gonna check.
But it was like massive. In our industry, we call it a pixel map. But it's actually like all the screens that you see, and it's like a huge surface of LED screens, and they all have to be video controlled. So you have to make a massive massive video screen, which is a lot bigger than you would have for even a 4K TV. So that also takes quite demands a lot of your computer, because if you have to render like whole fantasy worlds, like forest with owls, it's already a job to do that for a television signal, but for this it even took a lot longer. So that was quite a challenge, but it was amazing. Actually, we have this one in our agenda again to do EDC. It's coming up in 1.5 weeks that I'm going to be flying there, and I cannot wait, because people there, it's something else.
Wow, I would definitely love to visit that venue.
Yeah, well, it's only Las Vegas is already ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
As far as I hear. Okay.
yes, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, sort of theme park for adults, and with a
But
lot of
expensive
gambling.
one.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about something else right now. So let's go back to the portfolio. You're here. Okay. So let's start a little bit about projection mapping, because I find this so fascinating. Let's play the first video that we see over here. This was actually the event in Bucharest in 2018.
Right.
So for this one, actually, you won the award for the best projection mapping at 5th IMAP Bucharest edition.
Right.
And I remember I was watching this back then.
You were?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'm amazed with what you're doing, guys. So yeah, I was watching, and I love this projection mapping and 3D mapping generally. So. And I was so blown away, definitely. So would you please explain what this actually represents and how you bring project this kind to life?
Well, for this, I have to start off by saying that this was actually an initiative by two of our best designers that really wanted to test their skills to the maximum, and they took the initiative to write Vission Impossible in this project. And they spent weeks and weeks on creating a story about a bear, a wolf, and I think an eagle, which are the three symbolic animals of Romania. And since this was in Romania, and they're like a little bit of national pride, we made something of like the show with nature and a little, how do you call it, story with the three elements that or like the three animals that are linked to also the Romanian colors that sort of get lost in modern society and find their way back.
Wow. And who created the concept, the idea?
Those guys themselves, they did.
Yeah.
And they could be very proud to have made this and win as the first prize in the concept.
Definitely, congratulations! A huge congratulations to this project. Amazing.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So, okay, during the pandemic, you focused a lot more on virtual events, so which is expected, of course. Vanya, don't move over there. I have something else to show. So tell us what is needed to create one virtual event. You can go to virtual events over there.
Yeah. Maybe the first one. I think the first picture on the left top. That is
because I'm not sure.
The blue one with the.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Start if you think that's right, because I don't see from here. It's far. Yeah,
this is something that kept us busy in the pandemic, because there were no real events. For instance, and we were asked by few artists to create a sort of virtual virtual stream for their live events, and we were also experimenting a little bit with a game engine originally called Unreal, which they also use for things like how you call it, games like Fortnite, but because it is so advanced, and also the graphic cards in modern computers are getting so advanced, the same technique is now also used for a lot of other stuff. For instance, they also make the TV series of Star Wars, The Mandalorian. They make it in a virtual studio with all kind of video screens in the background, and they play they actually play the backgrounds, which are completely from the computer, with this Unreal Engine. And which used to be different from how they did it in the past, because maybe most people probably know like the making of, where you see actors in total green screen space. And this is kind of the next level, because now you can actually imagine being in the place where you're playing it, because you can really look around. And in the instance of the Mandalorian, this guy wears a metal helmet with a reflective visor, and this way, like the projected area actually reflects on his body armor suit. And we used this technique to create a virtual space. We received some footage of artists. In this case, there were two Mexican artists, and they wanted to really do something for transmission. Mm-hmm. So that's why they asked us to make a sort of a virtual environment. And we thought, well, since they're Mexican, it would be maybe nice to make it happen in the jungle with a sort of during the DJ set gets put in different atmospheres. So it started out in daylight in a sunny forest, and then slowly it becomes night, and like mushrooms light up, and at the end there's even a UFO landing on the building, and at the end of the DJ set. So and these kind of things in the old days, they took a lot of time to render, to create. You to like for 1 minute, that would almost take forever to come green screen studio. Mm-hmm. But now it is possible with this technique to do it real time. So you just start the mix, and then one of us activates the lights and makes a UFO come up and down, and another one does the camera direction. So you get to choose, and then you just play it, and your video creation happens in real time. And it's actually a pretty nice project to have been experimenting on the pandemic, because it's quite for us a little bit of innovative way of video creation.
Wow, it looks. Of course, it looks amazing, but it looks so complicated to do something like that. And I always thought that actually the artist or whoever is supposed to be in that video needs to be physically over there. And you're like doing in some movie studio or something like that. But as you said right now, and if I understood it well, you just need some footages of them.
Yeah, well, we have two solutions of it. We actually work together with a really advanced studio, where we can put people in there, and they're like a mini version of the studio of the Mandalorian. It just has like a floor, it has two walls, and then you can just put people in a total different background, which is pretty nice, but it's also pretty expensive. Rent it, because there has to by asking the DJ to send us a couple of green screen footage, but we had to direct it a little bit, because we asked them then to place 3 cameras, like one from the front, and then one from the side, and these guys even had an extra camera on top, so they could view what the DJ is actually doing. So we had 4 green screen footages, and then real time we could place that into the virtual space, and then look with one camera from one angle with the other one, and it actually worked pretty convincing. And what you say, it is pretty complicated, but unfortunately we had a year-long with no events to get into this kind of research.
Yeah, definitely I understand that part. And you were definitely too creative. I mean, a lot creative. Not too much. It's never too much of creativity. All right. So I'm not going to go through your website anymore, because if I do, we will stay here the whole day. And Vanya, the studio guy, will kill me most probably because of this. So guys, if you like... if you want to see everything those guys are doing, you should check their website. It's vision-impossible.nl. I will leave the address in the video description for sure, so you can check it. I kindly advise you to do that. So let's get back to some other questions that I have. So I guess there is a lot of people involved in Vision Impossible, as you already said. A lot of talented young souls, I will call them this way. How many of them are part of your great team?
Currently, we are with 6 people. But unfortunately, in the pandemic, we had to let a few people go because the contract couldn't be long, because there just wasn't any work for them, which with pain of our heart we had to do. But we work together with a lot of other freelancers as well, or intelligent musicians, and the circle is a little bit bigger, but at the moment it's 5 to 6 people.
Wow, that's not too much, actually.
No, it's a lot of work for a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, amazing, really. Okay, well, I was working for 3 years in one of the biggest marketing agencies in the world, Leo Burnett, and I worked with so many talented creative people, and graphic designers, creative directors, and copywriters, and so on and so on. And it was always crazy to try to understand how they get the idea of something, because of course I get the brief from the client, I forward it to them in the best possible way and give them some directions and so on and so on, but the result was often unexpected. And this is why I'm also fascinated by what you guys are doing, starting everything from the scratch and making phenomenal art result. So you leave me speechless all the time, and this is the reason, as I said at the beginning, one of the reasons why I come to the transmission. Of course, first is the music, but then this crazy experience. So my question...
Thank you. Too much credit.
No, trust me, this is not too much. You deserve a lot more. So can you try to explain the process of how everything goes from the start until the end, from the production until the implementing, from the idea, first of all? How do you get the idea of something?
Good question. Usually we get a brief, a briefing, telling sort of the parameters of what we have to do. And sometimes we do this kind of job for already a long time. We know sort of what is expected. We try to come up with some ideas. Then usually we start sketching, and then we try to and also try to produce the other pieces that are necessary. For instance, like music production, or we have to have a light design or something like that. And then we start producing the visuals, which mostly requires a lot of computer graphics, and creating that into multiple animations or shows or whatever is required. And then the thing about our job is that there always mostly like a fixed deadline for the event when it has to be ready, and mostly you're so ambitious that at the end you have to rush a little bit, and then finally see it in life. So that's pretty nice. And maybe now you think of it, maybe I can see where we start. Actually, I forgot my latest book, but these things, they take a little bit of practice, because I do a lot of sketching for for ideas and designs. And that will be, like
nice.
Not all of these materialized, but that can give a little bit an impression of how things can come to life. And then, it comes a little further, and then, from that we take it step by step.
Wow. So I guess it's the regular relationship between client and creative team, and those crazy deadlines. I know you hate them.
Yeah,
you have to admit that.
Never really get used to it, I suppose.
Yeah, it never will. I'm pretty much sure about it. So, how many people do you need to communicate with during some kind of event, what we showed before? So everything is about the time code, right? So how complicated it is to be synchronized with everything that's happening in the arena or wherever the venue is organized. So you have the team in charge of sound, lighting, lasers, pyrotechnic, musicians on the stage, performers, dancers, and I don't know if I mentioned everything. I most probably didn't. Mm-hmm. So I need facts and figures right now. So how many people is involved in one event, this kind that I've showed before, smaller and a bit bigger ones? Because I think EDC is a lot bigger than Transmission. Transmission is big for indoor festival, right?
Yes, yeah. The next EDC is going to be 180,000 people on one day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy big.
I think there's a number like Tomorrowland.
Yes, it is comparable. Yep.
Yeah, something like that. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
They don't have one stage; they have a lot more, right?
Yeah, they have. Yeah. Next time we'll be doing stage 7, so that already comes to show that I think they will have around 9 or 10 different stages. Yeah, it's really ridiculous.
It's
so big.
Huge one. It's a huge.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about lasers. I need to mention this.
All right.
Transmission Festival is famous, speaking of this. And can you reveal how many lasers do one event like Transmission consist? Because I heard this before and I forgot, to be honest.
Well, I don't even know exactly how many. I think the last time there were a little bit less, but mostly around, I think, 30. And it's been done by a Slovak company called Ministry, who also do a part of the technical production for Transmission. And those guys are amazing.
Only 30? Are you sure?
Yeah, might be a lot more. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know, but I have this number like almost 100 in my mind for some reason. I don't know why.
Might be. I generally don't have any idea, but I don't think 100. That would be really a lot. But there must be a list somewhere of how many lasers they had for one of these productions.
I need to check this, definitely.
I'm curious too.
I will let you know when I find out. All right. Okay, so guys, if you like lasers and motion graphics and fantastic futuristic stage design and perfect sound system, and you want to experience festival in a different way where technology is playing with your senses, and you like electronic music no matter what genre, I need to repeat this, no matter what genre, you need to check this festival or any festival these guys are managing. Trust me, it is everything about the experience. So
all right, well, thanks. And your previous question was how it works, like the synchronization and the amount of people that work with it, right?
Yeah. Of course, you're right.
Actually, it starts with creating a script, and then next we have to build the audio, and then we build the video, and then you have like the script with colors, which kind of colors to use and what to do on which moment, and then everybody starts programming, and all of that comes together in a place called at the event in a place called the front of house, which is on the other side of the of the stage, and then we hook up a machine that plays the music and also sends out an audio or like a timecode signal. So all the equipment are synchronized to the millisecond, and the most important ones are obviously if video is synced, but also the light, the shows are synced, especially with the kind of show. The shows that you see as announcements for the DJs, and there is also for the lasers, and there is also one for the guys that do like the pyrotechnics.
Wow.
Yes, and yeah, these ones are all controlled from the front of house.
For house. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we even transmission. I even hired somebody to direct this whole thing at the night itself.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people involved over there to make it real.
Okay. Yeah, and a lot of because a lot of preparation for it as well, like with sending out scripts and checking each other's movies, and the night before we usually work. Yeah, it never becomes earlier than 4 a.m. Until we checked everything and how you call it? Yeah, finalized that the shows are as good as possible. So usually there is this like cozy pre-party going on, but we always miss it because we're still in the venue working.
Yeah, but there is a reason why you need to do it. So this is why we are grateful for all or the effort that you guys do for this event. Okay, I think many people are not sure about this, but I need to ask you because they are asking me this same question, and I'm not sure how to answer on it. I have my personal opinion, but I don't know if I'm right. But I need you to tell me, do you need to get some DJ sets before to mix everything in a perfect way?
You mean if they are
pre-recorded, yeah.
Pre-recorded DJ sets?
Yep.
Not for transmission.
Seriously?
Yep. No,
wow.
There is no DJ that gives us his DJ set before the event. As far as I know, they're all playing live, and I can almost check because sometimes there is also a system where we can see what the DJs are playing, so we can be prepared for the next track is coming, so you can actually see him doing it live. And I don't think we've ever had a DJ that just played one WAF during his entire set. And I know that at other events that might be common practice, but not the transmission.
Okay, now I am even more fascinated by what you're doing. Wow, now I have no words to explain my opinion right now, but wow.
Yeah, and the only thing that we did get to pre-program was the Transmix.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
logical.
Yeah,
logical.
But,
okay.
But that one actually, last time we skipped it because we even sort of felt like that it is so good that we're doing a good enough job following the DJ live that this didn't add that much anymore. Except there are some pyrotechnics that are planned and stuff, but we couldn't find a good way to innovate it, and decided to focus more on the DJ sets and the shows.
But why? This is the most amazing part of the night for me. I thought you did this this year because there were 15 minutes set dedicated to Thomas Coastline. I thought this was the reason why there was not Transmix over there. And just to mention this, Thomas was a great artist and a person who lost his battle against cancer this year. Actually, I thought this is the reason why you didn't play your Transmix set. But okay.
No, this year was really a shame that we had to do without Thomas, and he will really be missed. But that was not the reason. I think because usually this also takes too much preparation to do it properly. And also, there was always like a discussion about what kind of music and who should mix it, and then what we would do with the visuals to make it stronger. And still, it would be a mix, which would be a little bit more spectacular than usual. But we felt it would be hard to really make it stand out. Also, because the techniques to do this kind of thing live during the actual DJ sets, they're more advanced now. So we didn't feel we could make a lot of difference between the Transmix and the regular DJ sets.
But this was your special mark for so many years. I don't know, I got used to it, I guess. So okay. Now here comes the disappointment. Okay.
All right. Well, Well, good to hear that you're disappointed. Maybe we should bring it back.
And for example,
Yeah.
I need to be honest. That's the thing. All right. Let's play a little game right now. It's called simply the truth and dare. No, we're not gonna play dare. We're gonna play only truth. Not this time. Okay. So, over here, you have 7 numbers. And behind every number, there is one question. And I will need you to pick 3 out of 7. And I will reveal those questions. And I will need you to answer those questions. I will be gentle. It's nothing too personal, so don't worry.
So I have to pick the numbers, right?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 3, and 7.
If I remember everything, I'm joking. All right. Let's see. Let's put it over here. So, what is your biggest failure?
Biggest failure?
Failure, yeah. That your team, for example, experienced.
I don't know. I think I don't know what felt as a pretty big failure was losing EDC in 2016. And I choose for another company, but so that wasn't very fun memory. But fortunately, we're going to be back this year, albeit not on the main stage. But that wasn't good.
I bet it wasn't, but it happens. It's okay.
Yeah, that happens.
You're back in the game, so cool. Okay, so you said 3, right? Okay, so 3 said. What is your guilty pleasure?
I don't know. I like to play video games once in a while.
Oh, really? What kind?
Yeah. Well, first-person shooter or like strategy games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So 7, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What makes you lose your mind?
In a good or a bad way?
In a bad way.
In a bad way.
In a bad way.
I don't know.
Should be something.
I'm gonna lose my mind. No, I don't. I don't know. I maybe I'm sort of a control freak, so I don't lose my mind that often. I don't use drugs. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't lose control often enough.
You think so? Maybe it could happen more often, right?
Yeah, maybe it should happen more often.
That people know you're alive, actually. You're not a robot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a robot.
Right. Sometimes we think you are. So. Okay, good to know. All right, so do you ever doubt in yourself or your team how something you prepared will look like, and if there will be some unexpected mistakes?
Yeah, you also always have to wonder, I think, because there are a lot of stuff that can go wrong, or like creative decisions that you can make that don't work out too well. That happens.
But what is the worst that could happen?
The worst, that it sucks.
Okay. I don't think it sucks, anything you do. I mean, but...
Well, it can, if you're, just going to be too sure of yourself and all think that, like, oh, okay, it will be fine. The client said this, but, we believe that. So, everything will work out.
Okay, that's a different story. All right.
Yeah, that might be the moment that that you're gonna fail, and I don't like failure, and I don't like and I just like things, especially on an event. You don't have you don't get a second chance to make that impression on people. If you design a show and it sucks, nobody is going to give you a second chance to do it again. There's just not going to be any. So that is a challenge, I think. And it's also nice, that you have to live up, build to that moment, and after that it's gone, and you can get on with the next thing. But it is I suppose it's a responsibility, and maybe that's why I'm a little bit of a control freak.
That's good, if you ask me.
Because as I said, you don't get that second chance very often. In events.
That's understandable, and it definitely sucks if it happens like that.
Yeah, if it sucks, then they're gonna go. They'll ask someone else.
Exactly.
To do it next time.
Okay, I can understand. I can relate, definitely. Okay, so I'm sure you also experienced a lot of different challenges working in the industry. But what was the biggest one that you remember during the COVID and before the COVID?
Well, COVID was definitely a challenge.
By itself.
By itself. Not being any. Not having to do anything for more than a year. I think that's pretty screwed everybody up in the industry. And fortunately here in Holland we got a little bit support of the government, but it still was quite a challenge to live through this whole period. And fortunately things are looking better at this moment, and I hope this we can end the whole thing pretty soon. But nobody knows, and until I think a little more than a month ago, nobody knew what the future is going to look like, and that was pretty hard to accept. We're gonna do events this winter. Nobody knows. Will it be possible to travel to other countries? Who will say? And that has been going on for more than a year, and hopefully that will slowly disappear. But after that kind of a hard blow, we'll still have to be careful, I think.
Definitely.
But on the other hand, I think the event industry is built up of some of the best people we know, and a lot of nice and optimistic people. So on the other hand, I think we're going to be fine.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
No, it will. It needs to be fine. Okay. So, but have you always been into trance music? I mean, you come from the Netherlands, so we all know where actually trance music comes from. I mean, it's Germany originally, but it was mostly it consists mostly artists from.
Well, the Dutch made it quite a genre, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So back then it was really popular. It's not popular that much right now, but in the beginning of 2000 it was extremely popular. So were you into that before, and were you into trance music right now as well? Because I know you're doing, of course, different venues, different genres, but I think you like trance a lot more.
A good question. I think when I started listening to electronic music, I only got interested in it when trance, but also techno emerged. And I think in the beginning there was not a quite big distinction between it. Like a record could be both a little bit trancey and techno at the same time. But I was really drawn to that kind of music. And I really loved it around before the 2000s. But after that, for me, it also became, well, maybe not too commercial, but then trance music really became a genre which was really like how you call it, like maybe too emotional. Well, maybe not the good word, but maybe more like it got a little cheesy at one point. And it also became really a genre. In the beginning, I thought it was really interesting, to have it mixed with techno and acid and progressive music. But then all of a sudden, it really became like the tear-jerking genre with a lot of vocals in it. And there was a point that I wasn't too interested anymore. But because of Transmission and what we did for Kremlin, we always liked the music, and especially it was very very suitable for our kind of images, which are also like a bit fantasy, and we like, for instance, like the space scene, all the most of the stuff that you see as the scene for Transmission fits the music pretty well, but also our sort of taste in visuals. So that matches pretty well, and I'm really enthusiastic by every time I hear an artist pushing the boundaries of trance music again. But that doesn't quite happen often enough for me, actually. So,
well, I can agree, definitely. But okay, you don't like vocals now. I know this. Okay.
Vocals?
Vocals, yeah.
That's the sort of techno-ish classical music, right?
No, I'm talking about vocals. I mean, singing.
Vocals.
Vocals, yeah.
There are some music that can give me the chills, but when it becomes a genre and somebody starts singing because apparently somebody thought that it would have to be a vocal song, I hate that.
Good to know. Okay, good. So this year's edition, Transmission edition, you named Behind the Masks. It's kind of funny, let's call it that way, because this theme was actually made before the COVID. So are you some kind of psychic? I don't know.
I have to deny that, otherwise I get a lot of people that will, instead of Bill Gates, they will come after me.
I was joking, of course.
The thing is, we had a sort of short list of themes that we had for, okay, like this year we could do this theme. Last time we did this, so this might be appropriate. And this time we could choose between, like the mask theme was already on the short list, and then we had to make a decision on which theme to do. And then we thought, okay, this theme might be pretty appropriate for the whole mask, like the whole COVID thing. And who knows, that's what we thought in, I think, March 2000. So when COVID just hit, who knows, we can only do a transmission again when people have to wear masks in the O2 arena. So that might be appropriate. So, let's take the chance and let's take that theme and give it a twist. It's not have to be about the pandemic, but more about, different sub-themes, but also a little bit about expanding your personality and pretending you're somebody else. That was more like the thought. But of course, when wearing mask in the whole pandemic became so important, we were like, okay, who knows? But I think it was also nice actually that the theme was like behind the mask. So the event that we did in the O2 arena could maybe a little bit mark the end of the pandemic, see what's behind the wearing the masks. So I know if you spin it that way, it actually is pretty fitting, I think.
Completely. I mean, the theme is amazing, and I think people loved it, even during the pandemic. But I think it is a good one. It is a good one for sure. You, as I said, always keep surprising us, also with themes. It's creative, first of all. All right. So, did you already start designing the next year?
Nope. No, we didn't.
Nope. Okay.
Nope. You have any ideas?
We can talk about this later. Okay, why not? Okay, but how long does it take for you to produce something like this, like transmission, for example?
Well, usually, I think normally we had, after this transmission, we had another show in Australia. Somewhere it was in February, and then usually we started about because then was the second time we did it, so there was less stress on the production. And afterwards, we can already have a meeting about, okay, guys, what do you think of this show, and what we do next? And we had a little short list, and then we sort of decide on a theme, and or do it shortly after when we had another meeting. And then there's like half a year that we can slowly work on it. We have to write the script. Usually that happens in the summer. Have to write the music, and then create the visuals, and start prepping the show.
Wow, that's less than 6 months for the preparation. Wow.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of other things to do in a year, so it's not full time either.
Exactly.
But unfortunately not. But yeah, it takes us, I think, 1.5 months or something.
What?
The creation of it takes us 1.5 months, like the show movies, that kind of thing.
Only like 45 days. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, less. I think for work days there will be like I don't know, 30.
Wow. Pretty impressed right now. Okay. So speaking of other events and plans for the next year or this year, of course, do you have some already made? Of course, I know that you were at the event in Switzerland, Masters of Hardcore, just a week ago. And I bet it was amazing.
No, it was pretty loud.
Yeah, definitely. But who likes that? They enjoyed it. Okay.
Yeah, they certainly did. Yeah, the people are as diehard fans of that kind of stuff as they are for transmission. But yeah.
But some other events, some other plans?
Yes. Going to EDC in about 2 weeks, where we'll do our own trance stage that we designed there. That will be, for me, a personal highlight I've been looking forward to since almost 2 years.
Wow.
And and it's definitely not going to be the most spectacular stage of the festival, but I'm really looking forward to making that a success, hopefully, because it's really an honor to be been asked for I think what's the most spectacular festival in the United States.
Amazing. Cannot wait to see it.
And there's another thing that we had a premiere, which I hope we can also show soon, is that we were asked to design a club in China. And we almost finished that design, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that come to life. Although unfortunately it's not possible to physically travel to China, but still would be very exciting to see that design come true.
Nice. Good job, guys. Keep doing it.
No,
All right. So for the end, I have one topic I would like to mention. The future of dance music scene. I generally avoid talking about political topics in my show for different reasons, just to be clear. But I need to ask you this because I think it is essential to talk about it. What is your general opinion about what is going on right now in the world and in the Netherlands specifically? I need to mention that initiative that you have over there called Unmute Us, that has been active for a while, because I think this is an excellent way to at least try to show to the government and to the world that the music industry is really important to all of us. So not allowing anything to be organized practically means they're killing it, shutting it down, literally.
Right.
So the scene is standing on the edge of survival, which is not good because many people depend on it.
Right.
Their jobs, first of all. Okay, Amsterdam Dance event is happening at the end, but under different rules, regulations, call it however you want to call it.
Yeah.
But we don't have, for example, conference part, which is the point of Amsterdam Dance event. Right?
That's how it started, yes.
Exactly. So what is your general opinion about this?
Good question. I think, it's funny because it looks like the whole world is in this mess together, but still, there are quite a few differences in depending on what country or which region you live. And we live in Holland, and in Holland, fortunately, we've been blessed with pretty good infrastructure of people working in the event industries. Probably started out with like the whole club culture and the DJs, but that's not only that. In Holland, we also have a lot of festivals that we're proud of, club life, and this sort of spread out to the general quality of Dutch event, which is generally pretty high, and usually so high that wherever in the really big events in the world, you will probably meet a lot of Dutch people in the front of on stage, but also in the front of house where we usually work. And that was pretty much threatened by, of course, the whole COVID. The whole COVID pandemic at first, but after that came the rules. And I'm not one of the persons that think COVID is something that's totally overblown and it's just a flu or that kind of thing, because I've seen people ending up in the hospital and being have long COVID, so they have complaints for many months after they had suffered the disease. So I'm certainly not one of the people that say that it's something that can be neglected, which is something that I miss for most of the. Well, let me come to that later. But so and in the beginning of the pandemic, we in Holland were also pretty blessed because the government, they could give some free money to keep the whole economy running, including the entertainment industries. On the other hand, you could immediately notice that the entertainment industries, we were already in the pandemic, one of the first people to be closed down, and we would know we would be the last to reopen again. But you can definitely notice that nobody that takes place in any government or high-ranking decision process making is sitting in any government, because they don't treat us very seriously. In Holland, we even had an instance where at one point, at the beginning of the summer, the ratings were going down very fast, the infection rate, and then they stupidly declared that everybody who would come get the Janssen vaccine, which isn't even that good, all the young people, they go to a clubbing straight away. By everybody much knew these vaccines only start working after at least 2 weeks. So immediately the numbers shoot up like in the 10,000s per day, after which they closed the entire summer festival. And I think that's where the government here lost a lot of support of the people, because they sort of misused the whole event industry and the nightclubs to get people vaccinated. And when that gave them the results where everybody warned them for, they closed down the whole festival summer. So that was, I think, something where they fucked up pretty bad, and gave also a lot of people that don't want the vaccines now, felt like they couldn't earn the trust anymore. I've been looking with some concerns to things like especially the Amsterdam Dance event, where normally like people from the entire world travel to join the conference and party. But apparently, we're still able to do it, because right now in Holland, they at least opened all of the clubs, but you have to get your vaccination code to show it. And then even then, the club has to close at before 12 o'clock. And initially, it was pretty well known that they thought of this thing because they rather wouldn't open the clubs, but there was no way they could make a special rule for them to exclude them. So they made a general rule to keep everybody out, that all clubs have to close, that every venue has to close at 12 o'clock. And that's what I think is don't like about the whole rules, because especially for young people, they suffered a lot of, I think, loss of their freedom in the whole pandemic, and they while at the same time they didn't run a lot of risk. So I would think it would be more fair if the whole nightlife would be more treated fairly and less bad than it has been done for the past few months here in Holland.
It's not only in Holland, for sure. I mean,
no, I can imagine.
Yeah,
that probably that's also there is different in different factors anywhere, but unfortunately the nightlife isn't a big priority on any government's list, I would imagine, especially also with you.
Well, in Serbia is a different story. We have events over here organized, and the whole summer was actually good because everything started with Exit Festival. That was under big question mark. Is it going to be organized? But in the end, the guys from the organization succeeded in it. They had a lot of struggles with the government and everything, and they succeeded because of the huge pressure they put on the government. And after that, actually, all the events started opening up on festivals as well. So nightlife over here exists. It's a funny story.
Oh, right. Good.
Yes, it is. It's weird because in most of the countries in Europe, it's totally the opposite. But over here, it's happening. But
hooray for Belgrade.
Yeah, but, I guess. I mean, it's not good because the numbers are growing right now. Not because of that, if you ask me, but they are growing like crazy, and no one is doing anything regarding that. So, still weird.
Yeah, that is still one thing that we have to see for the winter here in Holland. It is it's not big yet, but as it's becoming winter, if people get more closely together, you can and not all people will have a vaccination. You can imagine that there will be more people finally ending up in the hospital, and what they will do. So we I don't think that anybody can give any guarantee for the winter at this point. But it's good to hear that at least you've been free to do your thing, and let's hope it stays away.
Yeah, I guess. Let's hope. But this is not the idea. I want to travel. All right.
No, that's the other thing.
And we don't have trans. Yeah, exactly. And we don't have trance music over here, which is the biggest problem. All right. Okay, so this was, I think, exciting and lovely conversation. What do you think?
Thank you. I enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. Unfortunately, we couldn't do this live, as you know, but I think it went great this way as well. Okay.
Yes, all right. Thanks.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I'm sure everyone enjoyed this episode. It was not artist related like it usually is, but it was differently. But it was definitely important to mention the incredible job you guys are doing, and I'm pretty sure it was entertaining. And thank you for this journey into the music industry.
All right. Thanks so much. And like I said, it's teamwork. So I did it together with a lot of good and talented people.
Of course.
And maybe I didn't mention enough. I really enjoyed the music fans, and especially the trans people from Transmission. It's really special to all their dedication to the event. And it's always special to see how it's grown so big from a festival in Prague to something that attracts people from all over the globe, and even does the whole touring thing. So I think that's very special, and we are very grateful for it.
And you should be, definitely. And we are very grateful for what you guys doing, and definitely say hi to all the team because it is well deserved by everyone at the same time. Okay. Thank you once again. I wish you all the great success in the future, and with the events happening soon, a lot more. And music lovers out there, please share with me if you like this episode. And don't forget to subscribe to the Connected by Frequency YouTube channel. Like this video, make a comment, and share it with the world. And don't forget, we are all connected by frequency. Until next time, take care and have fun. Bye-bye.